precocious 10-year-old stepson, Braden. Jeff had a decent life. He was a successful business executive, in excellent physical condition, and strikingly handsome. At least, that's what everyone told him. Being half Japanese and half Danish gave him a slightly exotic look, and chicks seemed to dig it. He lived on the beach in an upscale neighborhood and seemed to have it all. But Sheila, his wife, was more trouble than she was worth. How he got roped into marriage and 3 stepkids was the handiwork of the 5'11" stunner who entranced him with her seductive ways. With long, silky blonde curls, sun-kissed tan, and an enormous fake rack that he'd paid for, she was the stuff of teenage boys' wet dreams. But no chick was worth the trouble she put him through, because of that stupid brat kid and his psycho dad, Sheila's ex. And that damn cop. What was his name? Reynolds. Yes, Reynolds. He had to shake Reynolds off his tail. He couldn't risk that nosy cop poking around in his business. He couldn't risk anyone finding out about his past, especially a nosy cop. Not now, with so much to lose. Hell, not ever, if I can help it. It's settled. I'll leave tonight. It took 2 years of hard work, but Geoffrey Jensen had created a whole new life for himself. He was now a licensed marriage and family therapist, MFT, with his own practice. He had decided the name Geoffrey was more professional than Jeff, so he changed it. Besides, he liked the idea of starting over with a new name for his new life. He had a way with people and believed he was a good listener. He also presumed to make a lot of money listening to people's problems. Becoming a therapist sounded like the perfect solution. He had hated his job as the VP of sales for Broadcom Corporation. He wanted a fresh start. He had graduated from Chapman University's Marriage and Family Therapy Master of Arts program and had been assured a very lucrative career, one he couldn't wait to get started. He'd walked away from his business, his home, and his marriage. He'd walked out on his life. After selling his house for a tidy sum of $2.4 million and paying off the lawyers and ex-wife, he'd still had more than enough for his graduate studies. He had walked away with $650,000. Living off his savings and renting a small apartment in Costa Mesa, he had attended classes full-time. He planned to make the money back easily once he got his new practice going. But clients didn't just walk in and line his pockets with cash. He would have to hustle to gain a clientele. Geoffrey Jensen had a plan for his new life, one where he could hide in plain sight. 1. Tara. Single mother Tara Spencer immersed herself into her daughter's life. She actively volunteered at Jelina's school, belonged to the PTA, and dedicated countless volunteer hours to the 6th graders' many musical theater productions. Jelina loved musical theater, and rehearsals were currently underway with her children's community theater group for Beauty and the Beast, in which she had the lead part. This was her dream role, because Belle was her favorite Disney princess. Tara devoted all her spare time to Jelina and was relieved the 11-year-old was well-adjusted and happy despite having divorced parents and shuttling back and forth between 2 households. Since the demise of her 14 years with Joe, Jelina's dad, and the failed attempt at getting back together with her first love, Trey, dating was the last thing on Tara's mind. She happily welcomed the distractions that came with being a single parent. When Tara's divorce had become final in May, she and Jelina had rented a cozy 3-bedroom condo in Tustin. It was close enough to Joe, who was still at the Fullerton house, to allow them to share custody of Jelina. Since her new job with the TV series filmed in Newport Beach, she had moved to Tustin to minimize the commute. It was the first time she had lived without a man since President Bill Clinton was in office. Braveheart was #1 at the box office, and Michael Jordan came out of retirement. Now that it was November 2nd, 2009, Tara felt occasional loneliness. The divorce had been a